A new flagship performance coupe with peculiar touches has no doubt been the desire of almost all Mazda fans, a kind of craving that in 2023 Mazda officially crushed the hopes of. And now what remains is that desire, not yet dead in the minds of these ones. Now, let's say we have something to quench that thirst, that hunger, that fire in your lungs, with inside info about this highly anticipated car, the 2025 Mazda RX-9. What then? Well, stick around to find out. Let's get right into it. So, let's begin with a recap of some things we may actually already know. Now, we have the RX Vision concept, which was originally first unveiled at the Tokyo Motor Show back in 2015. I don't know about you, but I recently found out it may still be a surprise to some people, given that the design it boasts gives off this current and modern look. No doubt credits to Mazda's Kodo design philosophy, whose main focus is the soul of motion. Now, this is a concept we haven't heard much about anymore ever since its release, so why do I mention it now? This is the juice. The RX-9 would be based on the same stunning lines of the RX Vision. Interesting, right? This is still sort of old news, as some of you may already have predicted this. So why not keep to the hot bit, you ask? Well, here it is. In 2015, when some of you were left disappointed owing to the RX Vision not being followed up by a real production model, there still exists a glimmer of hope. Mazda officially applied for a particular patent in 2021, and the patent was for an electrified rotary engine. This means a future power plant that could power the 25 RX-9 production model. Why? Remember, prior to this, RX models have always been famously boasting rotary units, so it's only to be expected that Mazda would be keen to continue this legacy for the new model. Now there's more! When Yoshiaki Noguchi, assistant manager of Mazda's powertrain development division, spoke up about this, he said there were basically three big challenges with the rotary: the economy, the need to make the car lighter to improve range while on it, and improvement of reliability. So, how will this work on the RX-9? Mazda's approach is simple: use of carbon fiber and other advanced materials to keep the curb weight low, especially with the addition of these heavy electric motors and batteries. Now, they are obviously no newbie to the game, as they have famously kept the weight down on all their sports models for quite a while now, which as well we can give credit to the classic two-seater British sports cars from the 1960s for the inspiration. We have that the RX-8 made use of aluminum and plastic to guarantee minimal weight during construction, which in turn massively changed how the coupe handled. Mazda, following the same part, is almost guaranteed for the RX-9. Now, how is the rotary expected to work? So, you look at it like this. Remember the box fresh MX-30? Good. The petrol-powered rotary engine would act similar to a generator for the relatively small lithium-ion battery, which has no connection to the driving wheels. Note that. So, the drive system basically is designed to function just like a normal EV with them plugins and all, but just until the battery runs low on charge, when stepping up to fire up and supply it with more energy would be the small capacity rotary engine. But we've got something even more interesting to talk about. Though right before we talk about it, please do support the video if you are getting any value by liking, and as well, show you like these kinds of videos by subscribing to keep getting more up-to-date info on your favorite car brands. Thank you for doing that. So now, with the current expectation, any new model coming will feature some sort of electrification, whether hybrid or plain EV, there also has been an incline in the number of models switching to all-wheel drive systems. So to boost performance, it's very likely multiple motors will be found on the RX-9, which will send needed power to all four corners. Now, this could mean improved grip, which means that it will be easier as means of building confidence than the traditional rear-wheel drive layout, as well as add a bit of overall upgrade to effectiveness in adverse conditions. When this happens, we could easily see the car making 0 to 60 miles per hour in near 6 seconds with a top speed of 150 plus miles per hour, 3,500 pounds of curb weight, 300 to 400 horsepower, along with torque of around 300 to 350 pound-feet, along with the all-welcomed all-wheel drive. That's crazy stuff. And if Mazda doesn't deviate from this path, the new RX-9 could so easily dwarf the performances of previous sports cars that are competition. But is it just all performance and no aesthetics? Well, if we want to look at what could come inside the car, it's pretty straightforward. I mean, all the iteration of RX models have driver-focused layouts, so naturally the RX-9 should follow suit. So, we could see a simple and modern interior with a digital cluster angled towards the driver, promising the capabilities of displaying figures and facts, including live data from under the hood. However, I don't expect it to be all analog though, as of course, we live presently in times where some form of fancy gadgets will will have to be included in the car to compete against others of its class. So naturally, features like adaptive cruise control, Apple CarPlay, and Android Auto, as well as various driving modes is expected. Inside still, Mazda's new safety technology, ADAS, will play a big role. This technology uses a variety of gadgets such as cameras and lasers, plus radar technology to increase the rate of protection that new Mazdas will offer to occupants. That's really cool if you ask me. A cool ride with increased protection to normalize daily driving usage. However, it is still a matter of debate exactly how much will be reasonable to kickstart the pricing of the RX-9. What do you think? Would a starting price of $70,000 be worth it or underpriced when it comes? Whatever's the case, we can't wait to share with you when it finally comes. But here's another update you may have missed about other high-performance cars coming in 2025.